create design. Design doesn't just emerge from data and from research. Designers create design. We want to believe that it's possible to prove that one design is better than another. In a lot of cases, it is using stopwatches, eye tracking tests, etc. But this kind of thinking can hinder someone from trying to lead a design effort. It sort of makes up. We hesitate. We go in circles. We don't make decisions about our design process. In my mind, real design decisions are informed guesswork. They're sort of partly about taking research and using that to infer a solution. So it takes courage. It takes boldness to be a leader to make these kinds of decisions without having to constantly fall back and wring your hands over the design process. So I like to call it data-inspired design. Research makes the designer smarter, and in fact, research is part of the creative process. A lot of organizations sort of separate research from design, and I think we can do a lot better job of merging them together. If you ever, been an observer in a usability test looking behind a glass, you probably have, as a designer, you probably are getting tons of ideas. And I've been in sessions where people are just sketching while they're watching someone fail at something in the design. Really, research is a very inspirational process. So there's an example. This is a deliverable by a company called Stewart Carton Design in California. And it's called mind mapping. What they did here is they interviewed a bunch of users about what they did during the day. I'm not quite sure what the product was, but they interviewed them, and then they built these timelines around each user, classifying what their activities were. Were they sort of home-based activities or work-based activities, rest time, utility time, and map this out to like this timeline so they can kind of compare and see patterns and similarities between different kinds of user personas in their behaviors. Now what's cool about this is that the designers actually did the research, and the designers invented this deliverable. This isn't some standard deliverable from the user research canon. They came up with this and made it up because they started to see that when they were interviewing users, they started to see, they all kind of think of their day in these chunks. Let's see how we can put this together. So that's how we feel about user personas. Like the act of creating user personas is a creative process. It's based on research, ideally, but once you start creating the personas, it's hard not to put in creativity into there. Especially, just like I'm not talking about like making up facts about them or coming up with really creative first and last names for them. I mean really simple things like how do you classify your personas when you're designing when you're working on this sort of user research part of a project. Like let's say you're doing a newspaper website. God help you at this point. But let's say you have to do a newspaper website, and you interview 25 readers and subscribers, and you want to 25 is a lot of users maybe, and so you want to reduce that down. You could split those users into the first 4 categories in terms of their frequency and loyalty to the site. You could also split those users up into categories based on the kind of content they want to deliver, or that they want delivered to them. One's usage-focused, content-focused. You can see how, like, if you chose one versus the other, it would profoundly affect the way your design would turn out, the way it would affect your information architecture, your sitemap, and the way you think about users. So this decision is a creative decision. This interpretation of data is not there in the data. It's a specific interpretation that required a little bit of creativity. This is it's a design decision. This is a research report.